members should be under no illusion. Approving this application will condemn the Dilke and represents the final stepping stone in the stages towards privatisation for one of the most valued community and historic assets in the forest by the NHS Trust and various other bodies who've railroaded this application with the help of the acquiescence from Cinderford Town Council. It will go down as one of the greatest travesties in the history of this council. It is short-sighted, and this whole affair has made a complete mockery out of the democratic process.
Councillor Forrester,
it will lead to a loss.
Councillor Forrester, I'm really sorry, but you must address your questions or comments to this site, not a debate on where hospitals should be, or a debate on decisions that are not part of the planning process.
Thank you, Chair. I'll try not to mention the implications anymore. It will lead to a loss of important recreational facilities and a green space in the centre of Cinderford. And not just that, but a loss of a site of strategic significance to both the food security and the well-being of forest residents. Many of you probably know the site is actually the former allotments that used to service Cinderford. And we're doing this at a time when wheat and other commodities have hit record highs and countries are imposing caps and even full bans on the exportation of phosphorus and other fertilisers. We are now entering a time when the allotments and services like that are going to be more important than at any other time since World War II. In addition, why didn't a brownfield site come forward? Why didn't Cinderford Town Council? Anyway, in addition, this is going to increase traffic on already overburdened roads, past Steammill School and along the High Street. So I'm going to ask you, so basically you were voting to half the number of hospital beds in the forest. I know that's not related, Chair, forgive me, I won't go to that again. And so I'm going to ask you to vote with your conscience in this matter and in accordance with the overwhelming wishes of the vast majority of the forest and reject this proposal. Thank you.
Councillor Lewis.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I would like to give this committee the opportunity for the committee members to vote with their conscience and move for the officer's recommendation.
That's a proposal.
Yes.
Is that seconded?
Ask me if it was a proposal, to be fair. That's fine, we'll see how it falls, won't we?
Seconded by Councillor Edwards. Do you wish to speak any further, councillors? Councillor Lewis, are you wanting to speak to your motion, your proposal?
I think it is self-evident. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. It's important for the provision of this new hospital to be in the right place. And unfortunately for me, this site is not the right place. For the reasons of the increased traffic generation through the steam mills and the loss of important open space. I personally think the Dilke site is the place where this new hospital should go. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Gooch.
Thank you, Chair. Whilst this may not be exactly as residents of the forest wanted, it's been sanctioned. It is going to happen. Whether we want it somewhere else is not a material consideration to this application. I'm confident that the NHS have done their homework, because I can't see that they would be spending this amount of money on something if it wasn't needed or if something else was needed. In addition to the hospital, there will be provision for mobile units at that site, as well as a dentist, which I think is much needed in and around the district. So, you know, I really do think that there is nowhere else to go. The hospital is either going to go there, or somebody give a material consideration as to why it can't go there. So I'm supportive of it. Thank you, Chair.
Councillor Bevan.
Thank you. I should be losing my local hospital in Lydney. I should be losing the hospital that I was born at the Dilke, and I will be abstaining on this vote. I just think the concept is totally wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bevan. Councillor Phelps.
Thank you, Chairman. I have to say I should support this with a measure of reluctance. As I stated at the information session it was given to councillors, I am dismayed that the building has a life expectancy of only 70 years. And I am also concerned that with a growing population within the forest, how long is it going to prove to be of a sufficient size to cater for the population? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Phelps. Anybody else wish to speak?
Could I just ask first, I noticed the officer recommended part of the conditions for delegated authority was linked into Natural England's response. That's not actually in the recommendation. Sorry.
I said that as the update following the late material. So the recommendations delegated authority, subject to no objection from Natural England on the appropriate assessment.
Okay. And do we have anything linked into there from a... Okay, that's fine. Okay. So you're voting... is that the same for the 15th of March for Natural England as well? I don't know. No, we'll leave the data out together. Next week. Thank you. Sorry to go. You're voting on granting delegated authority given to the development manager to approve the application subject to receiving no objection from Natural England and within their consultation period.
They could not respond for 6 months and we wouldn't be able to prove it out.
So I need to be absolutely clear about this. So
Within their consultation period?
Yes.
No objection within their
Consultation period. Oh, so if they give us no response within their consultation period, you can go ahead and approve anyhow. Okay. So subject to receiving no objection from Natural England within their objection period. Sorry, consultation period.